You know that feeling when the clouds finally part and the sun starts shining again? That's kind of what we saw in the market this past week. But we may see some storm clouds coming around the same time our seasonal monsoons hit. It's time for another monthly real estate market update brought to you by Jeff L. with L Group Real Estate. Sorting through the noise and simplifying the data, because when it comes to Tucson real estate, the numbers tell a story. Let's break down the latest market trends so you can make an informed decision about buying or selling in 2025. Okay, for the national market snapshot, May's inflation numbers brought some welcome news. The Consumer Price Index dropped to 2.5% year over year, the lowest in 4 years. Core inflation, which excludes food and energy, held steady at 2.8%. This is the kind of data the Fed likes to see, and while we don't expect a rate cut at their meeting next week, the path to lower rates later this year is looking more likely. As a result, the bond markets responded positively. The 10-year Treasury yield dipped into the low 430s, and mortgage rates followed. As of June 12th, the average 30-year fixed rate sits around 6.84%. Not record-breaking, but a bit of a relief compared to the low 7s we've seen off and on this year. So what helped rates improve? A few key things came together. Cooling inflation, prices aren't rising as quickly, which is exactly what the Federal Reserve wants to see. When inflation slows, there's less pressure to keep interest rates high, which is good news for mortgage rates. Improving US-China trade talks. Easing tensions between two major global economies means fewer supply chain issues and more market stability. That helps calm investor fears and reduces inflation pressure even further. Strong demand at the Treasury auction. The government recently sold a batch of long-term bonds and investors showed up in force. When demand for bonds is high, it actually helps lower interest rates across the board, including mortgage rates. The demand was so strong, you'd think they were selling bonds at $1 taco night. Now all that sounds great, but I did warn of the coming monsoon clouds in the next month or two. That's because I don't think we've seen the real impact of the tariff battle on inflation numbers yet. Some businesses stockpiled inventory in anticipation of tariffs, but at some point soon, they will have to pass rising costs on to us, the consumers. So good news is good news. Maybe don't go buy that Lambo just yet. Buy the house with the garage first, because real estate is a great hedge against inflation. Now let's take a look at what's happening here in Tucson real estate based on the May 2025 data. Closed sales were at 1,332 homes sold, down 9% compared to last May. Median sales price came in at $372,961, down just 0.5% year over year. The average sales price was at $456,000, up 2.4%, which shows some strength in the higher end market. And new listings were at 1,986, a very slight decrease of 0.7%. Median days on market was at 26 days, and homes are sitting just a little bit longer, about 6 more days than this time last year. And the price per square foot on average was at $233, which was only up about 0.5%. Active listings are sitting around 5,500 properties on the market, which means there's plenty of choices for buyers and a little bit more competition for sellers. That put the months of supply at 3.72 months, a clear shift toward a more balanced market from what has historically been a seller's market. On average, homes are selling for 1.83% below list price. So what does this mean for you? If you're a seller, this isn't the market to test the high end of your price range. Homes that are priced right and presented well are still moving, but buyers have more options, and they're using that leverage. If you're a buyer, slightly lower rates, more inventory, and a bit more negotiating power, the market is slowly tilting in your favor. Keep in mind, when we do see a more significant drop in rates, we will likely see a spike in demand, meaning more competition for the available homes, which could send prices on another upswing. If you're sitting on the fence trying to time the perfect market, just remember timing the market perfectly is a bit like trying to pick the fastest checkout lane at the grocery store. It sounds easy until you're in it. We're here to help navigate your next move with clarity, strategy, and a little peace of mind. Because while the Tucson summer might be hot, we keep it cool when it comes to real estate. We help busy people buy and sell real estate easier, simpler, and better.